Hello Pisces, and welcome to your Astroflower reading for the 27th going through to the 3rd of July. Did you manage to get a bit of liberation going on for you last week? How'd it go? Did you manage to get a bit more precise in the things? It might have changed with the solstice, and did a reading for the solstice because that was a real sort of barrage of emotions that had broken, that allowed the energy to go through at the moment. Very interesting, and an interesting reading that was for everybody, which you'll find on our channel. This is the Astroflower, so welcome to your Astroflower reading. This is the relation and the emotional side of life. This is your money, business, jobs, etc. This is the overall energy going through. These are the two karmic lessons. So the lesson for the party spirit and relationships, and this is for the party money, and this is the outcome and the ending of it all of the week, and as it feeds into the following week. Let's just get what's going on here. I think this is a real mutable thing at the moment. There's a definite mutable situation. Fixed tend to have a lot of pressure on them on the here and now. Mutables are sort of coming through something, but then they can see something else coming up, barreling through as well, and they will have that moment of calm, and it'll probably be next week. For cardinals, it's it's building up at the back. So you've got this dip going on here, and it's sort of kind of going, this wave here, or this vibration you're living at the moment, will need some sort of sorting out in order to get the next level of vibration, as it were. So there's a moment of going between one wave and the other, where you can get orientation out of life, and it seems to be flowing, coming in, but not quite there at the surface as yet. Okay, so I guess it's a case of enjoying the ride at the moment, but being conscious that this is not the last ride, it's just part of it. There's going to be more waves coming in for you. Okay, the temperance thing, say, with the precision of last week, and you had like the death and rebirth in this position last week, and the death and rebirth in this position, and it's as now like the overall energy is teaching you, or to learn how to get a certain rhythm within your life, a rhythm within the whole aspect around you. Sorry, I just had to check it was recording. And it's recognizing that rhythm. When you recognize that rhythm, you can use those forces for you. And it's the time of of starting to use those forces. So like, if you've ever ridden a bike, when you go around a corner and you're going around that corner, and you can feel it almost speed up out of it, and it speeds as it goes into that corner. And that's what it's like, and it's using it to push it away out of that corner, so you can increase your speed out. And that's what it's sort of saying here. Start, learning to use yourself to go forward. Let's see what's going on the emotional sort of side, the relationship sort of side, where you had the Empress in this position last week. You should know where you're going and what is good for you. But being clear about it. Sometimes Pisces, you're heading for a difficult time, but you're gonna hit it anyway. You don't flinch from things emotionally, because you're a pure water sign. You're a pure emotional sign. It's you have an amazing amount of a proliferate of emotions within Pisces. And if it's being expressed, it's really good. If it's being suppressed, That's really not good for Pisces. And I think this is, I think this week here is learning about being clear about what emotions you do need to express and what you need to suppress. Okay, let's see how the universe is sort of influencing that sort of thing. Karmic path. Everything has its consequences. So in this respect, if you are clear about what you're suppressing and what you're expressing in the way of emotions in regards to relationships that are around you, that will create a domino effect, a knock-on effect around you. And maybe this is what the universe is trying to help you to understand, how you work a lot easier. How you work as an emotional being or an energy being with others that are around you. So in the future, you cause yourself a lot less harm, and it becomes a progressive experience rather than a boom, stop, start relationship sort of experience. And I think that's what the universe is trying to help you to do. So concentrating on yourself. I think this is more to do with you rather than the people around you. It's knowing you of when is a good time to express and when is a good time to sort of say, no, it's probably not good for me to get involved in that. And understanding that, it will save you a lot of time, and it'll make your relationships with other people, that's family, community, friends, partner, very, very highly productive in a way. Highly productive, and it'll make you feel like that you're really progressing on, which will be really good for you. So let's see how the guides are trying to influence that conversation or that karmic path. You've got to go through with it. You've got to go through with it. Don't bail out. If there's something you're dealing with at the moment in your life, you've got to deal with it. That's on more, I would say, more of a negative sort of sensation. But on the positive side, it's also, let's say you're going to get married and you're kind of having second doubts. It's sort of saying, just go through with it. You go do it. You're going to love it. And it's trying to keep you on a constant longer term path, which is difficult for Pisces to do. Ace of Cups. Beautiful, really. And this is very Pisces. Living life with your heart, following your heart. That's what I think it's probably trying to say to you. I say follow through. I think follow through with your heart. Follow through with your emotions. If you're totally clear with yourself, you'll be able to let your emotions flow beautifully. And it'd be really nice, not just for you, but for everybody around you. Okay, and it's all to do with that timing again, got to be said, with the temperance. Let's just see how the guides are trying to influence that conversation that is within you. Don't be sociable for sociable's sake. Be sociable because you want to be there. Don't feel obliged about anything at the moment. I think that's what they're sort of saying. Yeah, if you found yourself doing a lot of things in the past because it was the right thing to do, or this is what people expect and stuff like that, they're almost sort of saying, they're warning you about sort of past things, and sort of saying, do you really want to go back to that? Do you really want to, you should really be going forward. You should be really changing or evolving. And I think it's a case here of not necessarily, being social because it's social. This is not a week to do that. There is weeks to do that, but this is not a week to do that. This is a week to sort of say, yes, I think I would like to do that, therefore I'm going to do that with you, or, come to that family barbecue. If you don't feel that it's right to go to the family barbecue, then maybe it's probably best if you don't. and you take a bit of time out for yourself. But I personally, seeing these things here, these cards here, I think you'd be more up for the barbecue. So yeah, and it could be a case of old friends coming back in, provoking old emotions. It'd be a good time to express things that you haven't been able to express in the past. And I think it'd be good for you and you know, for your community that is around you, and also maybe your partner, and things like that. So yeah, it's a really sensual relationship week. Yeah, I would say it's sensual. It's in sensibility, you know, you're sensitive. Yeah. But as you can well be, Pisces, you know. Let's just see what's going on. I was, of course, got lost in the sensitivity of it all. Let's see what's going on your financial sort of side. Just seeing what you had last week. It was more on sort of like there was, you know, things coming in on the longer term plan. But here is, yeah, you got to move on. I think this ties into that death and rebirth card, which was the overall energy last week. And I think this is more of a case here that in order to progress on, you have to walk away from something. So let's say you're in a company, you're in a job, and you've got some really great work colleagues that you absolutely adore. You love working with them, but you've been given a job offer or a pay rise or a career change, and it means you're going to have to walk away from something. And it could be also, so like if you're running a business, walking away from bad business practices, things that are not really helping you. I think, you know, that's the sort of thing. It's nothing nasty. It's just a case here of sort of saying that doesn't work for the business, or that doesn't work for me within my job. I'm going to walk to something that's going to work for me. And I think that's a case of that for you. Yeah. Let's see how the universe is sort of influencing that sort of karmic path. There's so many beautiful things in the world and so diverse in their beauty that it's difficult to choose something that is the most beautiful. So it's like comparing an orange and a banana. They're both apparently fruits, supposedly fruits, but they don't taste the same, they don't have the same texture, they don't have the same juices, completely different, they're incomparable. And the universe is just sort of saying here, it's almost sort of saying as you're walking away, you're walking towards something that's a bit more concrete for you in the way of finances and stuff like that. It's sort of saying to you, look at this fruit, and then look at this fruit, look at this, look at these beautiful things that are possible. It's cool. It's coming in very quickly. You had the 8 of Wands in that position last week as well. So this is still, the universe is really trying to push you along. Are you procrastinating, Pisces? Is this what it is? You know, is the universe having to kind of go, come on, move on, move on, move on? Because if you are, I wouldn't. You're hampering yourself. That's the whole beautiful thing. It's sort of saying, they're trying to encourage you, a little bit like the carrot and the stick sort of scenario. And the universe is really offering the carrots here. Good victories, speedy victories, and it will lead to a harmonious situation. But you've got to move on. You know, you've got to go forward. You've got to go out and get that job. If you haven't got a job, you're not going to get it sitting behind a computer screen. At some point, you do have to get up and go out. And it may be the fact that you just go to the local cafe with a paper to look for a job, and you're drinking a cup of coffee, and someone next to you is talking to someone else, sort of saying, oh, we can't find this person for this job. And there you go. So I think this is it. It's asking you to move, really. Let's see how the guides are trying to influence that karmic path. They're almost trying to separate you from the past. Saying, don't worry about it, we'll deal with it. You just keep going forward. So they're trying to tie up the loose ends of your life, going on a journey. This is it. They're telling you to go on the journey. Go, go, go. Don't stop. Don't stop. On your financial, if you're thinking about changing for a job, I would do it. You know, if you're looking at progressing in your career path, I would push for it. If you're looking at opening a business, I would really open it. Really start moving on and progressing that journey. I think there's a case of procrastination. Okay, let's see how the guides are sort of influencing the conversation that is within you. You know, on this side of here, I said, don't be sociable for sociable reasons. In a way, this side here, the other guide on this side is here, is sort of saying you need to network. So it's like the opposite to this side. Maybe it's a case of, you know, really separating the two sides. And that may be the case of the temperance as well, the day and the night. Daytime job, nighttime life, you know. And they're trying, by the looks of things, these guides are trying to influence the conversation so you can separate the two. Yeah, work and play. Okay, death and rebirth, who was in this position last week. Yeah. That's the only other card that's come up. There's no other cards that are from last week either. And I think this is all to do with the solstice. You should really go and see that solstice reading. It's on our channel. It's timestamped, so you can go straight to the Pisces section. But this is it. This is death and rebirth. This is rebirth more than death. This is the death part here, and you've really got to walk away from it, and you've got to move on to greener pastures. And in order to do that, you do need to do a bit of networking. Let's just see the outcome here for the week and what it's going on into the following week. You're creating your own waves of reality. You're creating your own waves of success. That's what it seems like. Four of Pentacles, which was down on your karmic path last week. So it's obviously in your forefront of you now this week. So it's come through your karmic path, come up through that. Here you've got that cardinal fire of Aries. So it's obviously been driven by your passions. And as those passions are coming through you, you've been pulling a little bit back on the horses. I've got a funny feeling they're sort of saying to you at the moment, yeah, okay, you're pulling back on the horses. This is good. You're pulling back on those horses. And they're saying that you're coming out of that bend now. And as you come out of that bend, you've got to let the horses ride. You've got to let them run, man. You've got to let them run. So, yeah, it's good to be sort of a bit not prudent, I guess there's a word. A bit prudent this week. But just recognize, this is what I was talking about earlier on, this wave coming through. This is the wave coming through. And I think you should have a good eye on that occasionally. Like anybody who's riding a motorbike, I love driving motorbikes, but you've got to do this death look, which you look behind you. It looks into the point where you can't see behind you. And that's a bit like at the moment for you guys. You've got to see that wave of energy coming in for you, because it's really coming in quite fast. And if you're holding back the horses too slow, you may get the wave just ride straight through you. So it may be at the end of the week, it's sort of saying you've now got to open up the throttle a little bit. Okay? Whew, nice reading. Long one, but a nice reading. There you go, Pisces. Hope you managed to make it all the way to the end. If you're part of the Astroflower family, I thank you dearly for being part of the Astroflower family and the support you give us. If you want to support us, it's very easy to do. You can do it right now. All you need to do is subscribe and click that bell and you will be part. We do loads of stuff on Instagram as well. There's loads of links in the description below, including your Astroflower book of Pisces. I will see you at some point during the week, because I will be doing some readings on Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday. According to some other stuff, probably about the collective. So I will see you then. If not, I will see you for your weekly reading. That will be next Friday. In the meantime, Pisces, don't forget, life should be fun. So please do enjoy.